instead. Studies, no. So, moving on to the next slide is actually not that much clear for you, but the top three countries which have above average social media penetration are Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Even the UK does not have the average social media penetration rate. So that means there are a lot of people on social networks in this region. Obviously, in the UK as well, for example, this map shows about there are 19.2 million social media users in the UK. That means there are about 50 million of them online, and from them, this 90 million are on social networks. This is also a very big market. We can segment it, for example, from the previous slide, it was segmented down to about 800,000 to almost a million social media Muslim users in the UK as well. So the next slide will be the impact of these communities on the marketplace. These customers are actually empowered by social media to have a big influence in the market, and a positive purchase experience posted by someone on some platform is positively received, or if not, then obviously it's not good for that brand as well. For example, while I was observing the conversations in the past month in Twitter, about Takaful, there was a lot of discussion about from people and questions, how can I get the best Takaful policy for me? What is the best ways of choosing, which is the best way to do that? And then also there was the generic Islamic finance content that was shared. From this, what I've also noticed is that there is a lack of knowledgeable discussions that's going on. That shows you that there is a lower level of understanding about the whole Takaful concept as well. So, but there wasn't been any instance of any company coming in and then actually giving them the reply, or explaining what it's all about. So there is one interesting thing about these conversations. They're not going to stop. That means these conversations will go on, whether the brands are listening to them or not, because these people are effectively talking about their lives and how these brands are actually affecting their lives. So unless the brands or these finance brands are not listening to them, then it's obviously not, they're being left behind as well. But also, it's not just about listening. After listening, also they have to actually act on that action and then implement it. Or else, when you're trying to create a relationship and you're just saying, okay, listen to me only, then that's not how the way to create the relationship. You have to actually do it. For example, let me give you an idea about Starbucks. What Starbucks did was they launched their own website called My Starbucks Idea. So they were soliciting ideas from their customers about what to do and things like that, and there were about 80,000 ideas which were submitted. What Starbucks actually did was they actually implemented some around 50 to 100 of them like in practice. So that showed that the customers' opinions actually matter, and that they are valued by the brand as well. These conversations also, like Saad also touched upon, act as a major source of market information. That means companies can glean through very valuable and insightful information from these conversations into customizing their products. It's not like the funnel has now been tipped. It's the people are now demanding what they want through these medias. It's not this is what you need and this is what you're gonna get. So companies taking part in these conversations can get this information and customize their offers as well. So this is actually the next topic is actually the most sensitive issue. Iqbal also had kind of touched upon it, is the issue of transparency when talking about social media and finance and things like that. So let me get something out of the way that my understanding about transparency in finance. The first one is customers need to feel secure and that their money is protected, and they want to know where exactly that money is being spent. They want to know that from actually what happened in the past 2-3 years from the crisis as well. The second one is that they need to see simple fee structures. They need to understand what is the product that is being sold to them, how Takaful is different from insurance. that should be clear to them, and then they should actually know what they're signing up for when they putting their signature under those under that blueprint. So moving on to when we are talking about creating relationships and building a loyal customer following, the issue of trust is of utmost importance. That means trust actually glues the relationships. And how can trust be built? Is through transparency, through an increased level of disclosure, through peer review and transparency. The authenticity generated from these trustful connections actually helps these brands to spread out their messages in a wildfire way, like Saad also mentioned. That means the connection that are made in these networks are based on trust. So if a customer is actually trust the brand and then tries to send out a message or retweet or post a message somewhere or like or comment something, then that there's an authenticity element in that kind of interaction. So that kind of interaction could further be amplified through providing good content that's engaging. So the next slide would be talking about how can companies actually build trust using social media. That means I'm sure there could be questions hanging around in people's head now, that how can I build trust in people using social media? Well, the one best way that I personally prefer is providing valuable and quality, engaging content. That is actually the first step, how a brand actually shows that that brand is interested in creating a relationship, establishing a relationship with that customer. It's opening up a channel for a two-way communication. People now see, okay, so this is something I'm interested at. Okay, I'll probably share it with my friends. So, or if it's a generic one, it's something that's too much, like I said, finance-savvy words included and things like that, then probably it's not going to be, on the wildfire era. The next one is transparency, which is they actually want to know the person behind the brand. They want to know how that brand helped the life of a person just like me. They want to know how that brand is actually helping people in other places, the CSR activities, for example. They want to see the human side of that brand, or else how is a person actually building a relationship with a robot just churning out contents over and over again. So that's one thing. And the other one is the timely responsiveness. That means when it's contextual, when there's a contextual way of communicating, what we perceive as trustworthiness is the speed at how does that the other person we're communicating at is replying to us. That means it shows us how that person actually values what we're talking about, and then replying as well. The second, the other point is no hard selling. That also has actually mentioned upon that. That highly sales-pitched messages actually are considered as a spam, and that is no way to build a relationship. Social media is a long-term sale, so you shouldn't be if you say okay, I'm going to put social media into my marketing mix. That does not mean okay, you're going to get money the next month, next 2 months or 6 months or things like that. It depends on the aim that you want to achieve. Is it PR that you want to create? Is it customer service you want to serve? It differs. Is it sales list that you want to generate? It differs. The aims that you want to achieve through social media. So the hard selling part is also very important.